So today I am testing a brand of paints that you guys have been asking me about for a while now. I kept seeing them pop up in the comments, people saying, "David, have you tried these? They are so cheap." And my response was always, well, cheap isn't always better. But I also know that not everyone has the budget for Amsterdam or higher end artist grade paints, and you still deserve to make beautiful art. So today we're going to find out, are NicPro paints actually worth your money? And let me tell you, I was pleasantly surprised. I grabbed these on Amazon for $36.99. Now let's put that into perspective. This set comes with 24 colors in 8.45 ounce containers. When I did the math, we're talking about roughly 18 cents per fluid ounce. That is genuinely a great price for paint. Even most craft paints run you 33 cents to over $1 per ounce. So on price alone, these are competitive. Now when I opened the box, first thing I noticed, the pink colors looked absolutely gorgeous. Really vibrant out of the gate. The set also came with a little palette knife, a sponge, and a guide on how to use the paints. Nice touch, especially for beginners. But here's the thing that really impressed me right away. The lids. They have plastic inner cap to seal the paint tube before you open it. This might seem like a small detail, but it matters a lot. A lot of cheaper paints just crimp the tube shut, and when you've got pressure changes from when they were manufactured to where you open them, you know what happens. You open the cap and whoosh, paint everywhere. That little plastic seal tells me NicPro is at least thinking about quality control. Alright, so the first thing I did was a basic primary color mixing test. Magenta, blue, and yellow, to see how well those colors mix and what kind of secondary colors I'd get. Here's where I want to be honest with you, because that's what the channel is about. The secondary colors weren't as bright or as vibrant as what I'd get for something like Liquitex or Arteza. The mixed colors were a little muted, but, and this is important, that is completely expected at this price point. Lower pigment load means less vibrancy when you mix. It's the trade-off you make for the price. Next, I tested how these paints mix with 3 different pouring mediums: Floetrol, glue, and golden pouring medium. And I'm happy to report that all 3 mixed really well. No separation, no weird textures, no clumping. That's a solid result. These paints seem to play nicely with whatever medium you already have on hand. So now the fun part. I decided to do a dirty pour on a 12 by 12 canvas using 4 colors: gray, white, Caribbean blue, and vermilion red. I loved that color palette. I like this color combination when testing because the gray and other colors together can either get really muddy or really dramatic depending on how the pour goes. Before I started, I did notice something I need to flag. A few of my colors had dried paint globs in them. That was disappointing. Not every color, but a few. It's the kind of quality control issues you sometimes see with budget paints. Just something to be aware of when you open yours. Check your colors before you mix, and if you see globs, pull them out as soon as possible. I pulled a few chunks out of the paint and a few after I did my flip cup. Now for my mixing ratio, I went 2 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. Here's something interesting. These paints are thinner than some of the higher quality acrylics I normally use, which means I barely needed to add any water at all to hit a nice medium thin pouring consistency. That's actually a plus for beginners. Easier to dial in without overdoing the water and losing your binder. Before I did the full pour, I did a quick cell reactivity test. I put a blob of each color on my palette and swiped white across them to see if the paint was naturally cell reactive on its own. The short answer? It was not. White didn't put shells up through these paints by itself. There aren't many paints like Amsterdam when it comes to cell creators, so that isn't as negative as it seems. Here's where things got really interesting. I added 1 drop of silicone to each color, then did my dirty pour on the 12 by 12 canvas. And let me tell you, Pouring Nation, I was genuinely surprised in a way I wasn't expecting. The cells came through beautifully. Some paints don't play well with silicone. The oil just sits on top and the cells never really form right. Not the case here. The cells were forming on their own before I even touched the torch. I actually didn't torch until the very end because it wasn't necessary. The surface tension was breaking naturally and the cells were popping up all over the canvas. The other thing that impressed me, the colors didn't muddy. Gray and red together, that can go south fast. But the red really shone through, the Caribbean blue held its own, and the gray ended up working as more of an accent color rather than taking over. I got great definition between all four colors. I did torch lightly at the very end just to bring up a few more smaller cells and smooth out the surface, but honestly, the pour did most of the heavy lifting on its own. The final painting came out really well. I loved it. I might actually keep this one. So let's do a quick breakdown. What I liked. The price, 18 cents per fluid ounce, is exceptional value. The sealed plastic cap on each tube, quality detail. NicPro mixed well with all three pouring mediums. It worked great with silicone and the cells were fantastic. The colors stayed distinct and didn't muddy in the pour, although I'll need to do more testing on that. And the thinner consistencies means less water needed. What to watch out for? The mixed colors aren't as vibrant as higher quality paints. I found dried paint globs in a few of the colors. Check before you mix and after you pour. And, like I mentioned before, it's not naturally cell reactive. Bottom line, if you're on a budget and still trying to figure out your process, or you just want a low stakes set to experiment with, I would highly recommend these. The silicone pour results alone surprised me. These aren't going to replace my Amsterdam paints for swipes or blooms, but I'd still recommend them for someone new into the hobby without spending a lot of money. And I've done this test for multiple different acrylic paints, and you can see those videos here.